According to the Office of Population Affairs, the United States teen pregnancy rates are higher than in many other developed countries, such as Canada and the United Kingdom. Hello, everyone. My name is Appel, and today I will be talking about how abstinence plus sex education should be a required course throughout the United States. When I was in high school, me and my classmates were introduced to the concept of safe sex and how our bodies were changing and maturing. While at the time it made us feel as if we would rather die than have to learn anything about sex, pregnancy, or puberty, it did give us the opportunity to better understand ourselves as well as make more informed decisions in the future. The main points we'll be focusing on today will first be on how a lack of sex education can negatively harm teenagers. Next, how we can have a more comprehensive sex education. What the world would be like with a more comprehensive sex education. And finally, the actions we need to take to have and implement the needed sex education. Firstly, the states in America which suffer from the highest teen pregnancy rates are often the ones which have a lacking sex education, which, as reported by the World Population Review, the top 10 states in America which have the highest teen pregnancy rates are ones which teach abstinence-only education. So, abstinence only can be very difficult for teenagers to maintain, as it teaches them to only have sex once they marry. Teenagers are basically kept in a box, never taught about contraceptives or how to use them, making them totally unprepared for how to practice safe sex for when they decide to exit from abstinence. Moreover, abstinence sex education is very concerning as it often has false or exaggerated information about more comprehensive sex education, making it so that instead of abstinence being the best option, it is instead the only option. Another important fact is that people who are ages from 15 to 24 account for 25% of the sexually active population. And, as explained by the National Conference of State Legislatures, people who are 15 to 24 also account for half of all new STIs, about 10 million cases a year, which makes it all the more important to better prepare these people before they decide to have sexual intercourse, as this would both help to prepare them and give them knowledge on how to have safe sex. As otherwise, they are basically drowning without anyone's knowledge or guidance, and inevitably, STD rates and teen pregnancy rates go up. Moving on, the solution to this is to have more comprehensive sex education, as, unlike just abstinence, while it still emphasizes abstinence, it also ensures other integral information is being taught as well, such as what contraceptives are, how to use them, and more in-depth details about STDs. It also doesn't fearmonger teens into abstaining, and which, as reported by the National Library of Medicine, restricting sexual health information is actually an infringement on human rights, as sexual health information is seen as a human right according to many international agreements. Moreover, it better accommodates to modern society, as many people are getting married into their late 20s, early 30s, so on and so forth. So expecting them to have to wait until marriage to have intercourse is very out of mind for them. Also, abstinence plus sex education is better at reducing sexually risky behavior, as in a study, 40% of an observed group had delayed initiation, fewer partners, and also had an increased use of contraceptives. So abstinence plus sex education was much more successful in preparing their teenagers and also giving them knowledge. Moreover, now that we know about how abstinence sex education is better than the more lacking abstinence-only sex education, we can now imagine what the world would be like if abstinence plus sex education was implemented. Simply put, teen pregnancy rates and STD rates would drastically reduce. As many teens who get pregnant are in high school, they're forced to drop out, meaning that they cannot attain a higher education, making them also miss out on higher paying jobs, which causes basically a cycle of poverty and teen pregnancy, as socioeconomic inequality is one of the main factors behind teen pregnancies. Another main reason that teen pregnancies have been declining in recent years, though, is due to a combination of both birth control and abstinence. So having the two finally working more together will further work to reduce the already declining birth rates. Now that we've talked about the world we could have if we had implemented a more comprehensive sex education, we're now able to conclude the actions we can take in order to help our country, youth, and our future generations. So we've identified the problem, which is a lack of sex education. We've come with a solution, which is to have a comprehensive sex education, which allowed us to visualize a world where having a more comprehensive sex education allows us to have lower teen pregnancy rates and STD rates, which I hope helps you to understand the importance of taking action to help prepare our youth by promoting abstinence plus sex education, as this would better help us match our status as a developed country. So send letters to your senators, share your thoughts on social media, and spread the word to help create a positive impact on our country. We're no longer in the dark ages. We don't lack the technology or even the knowledge on how to help our teens. So prevent them from being chicks, wandering and stumbling all about. We need to actually give them the information instead of purposely withholding it. Teens often don't listen to us, and it's hard to control them, but the least we can do is give them the tools and the knowledge in order so they aren't basically blindly going out into the night unaware they could have had a flashlight. Properly educating them and not just focusing on only abstinence will lead them to having healthier and happier lives in the future. And, as quoted by Daniel J. Borston, the greatest enemy of knowledge is not ignorance, it is the illusion of knowledge. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a very good day, and thank you for listening to my speech.